In the 1990s, people thought that in the future we would have flying cars. And as it turns out, they were right. The future of Trackmania is finally here, as it is now possible to make your own tool-assisted speedruns. This is done using a tool called the Trackmania Input Control Kit, developed by Ashepta. And what this tool lets you do is take full control of the game speed that you're playing at, the inputs the car does, and even creating as many save states as you'd like. With this, you can create a theoretically perfect speedrun on any map you want to show the potential that's out there. And I was one of the first people given access to the program to try it out. So I looked around for a map I wanted to optimize, and I ultimately settled on this one. Cobalt Cove, built by Nadeo. This is an official map originally released in the platform campaign, and the reason I chose this one is that it has a lot of pipes and jumps and places that you might find shortcuts or optimizations. And so, I started out building my run. Before we jump into it, I'd like to give a shout out to this video sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark is a top-tier VPN that makes it possible for you to select a country, and the internet treats it like you are there in person. This means that if you have a limited Netflix library like I do, Surfshark made it so I can change my country and a whole new catalog opens up. This also works for HBO Max and any other streaming platform that has region-locked content. As Surfshark says, a VPN is like wearing pants. All the important stuff stays private and secure as you step outside. It covers your whole online activity and all your information stays encrypted. With Surfshark 1, you also get the Clean Web Ad Blocker, which blocks all pop-ups and malicious content before the page even loads. This means a more secure connection and faster load times. Surfshark 1 doesn't just provide you with a VPN and a Clean Web Ad Blocker. It also has a built-in antivirus so you can scan for malware. And Alternative ID, a feature that lets you mask your online data like name and email from sites you don't trust, making it an all-in-one security app for anything you need. One account covers every device you own, there is no one counting seats, and if you find out Surfshark is not for you, there's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you would like to check it out and try the benefits for yourself, you can do so using my link in the description and the code VIRTUALTV for an additional up to 4 extra months. With that said, let's get back to the video. Now, not gonna lie, I got off to a slow start as I was not at all familiar with the workflow of making a tool-assisted speedrun. This was my first time doing it properly, and although I wanted to keep it simple for myself by avoiding all the advanced features, it still took me a long time to get the hang of it. It took me about 30 minutes to reach the first checkpoint, which is just a simple underwater part. But after that, it was more smooth sailing from there. From checkpoint 1 to checkpoint 2 is where the map really starts to get interesting. Here you have a pipe turn, which of course, with these tools, you can drive at an inhuman level. And you also have a jump that you can land into a perfect plastic wall hug. I did initially discover a cool trick here, where I found out it's possible to flip off the side of the pipe, land backwards, and then plastic bounce towards the checkpoint. But when making these tool-assisted runs, it's important to look at the bigger picture. You're not just trying to optimize that one segment, you're trying to optimize the run in its entirety. And so, unfortunately, although the backwards trick was cool, the wall hug was evidently much faster for the entire run. At checkpoint 2 is where I discovered something really interesting. I saw that it's possible to get to another checkpoint as well, one of the later ones, and then from there, you could potentially make an entire reroute happen. The reroute would conclude with a pipe bounce over to the second last checkpoint, crossing a huge gap. And unfortunately, to the best of my abilities, I wasn't able to make that jump. I did get what felt like close, but there was no way I could see to get the missing speed. So I'd spent a lot of time and I was back at checkpoint 2 with not much progress to show for it. But from here, I decided to commit to building the normal way route. At checkpoint 4, I ran into more problems. This checkpoint has a lot of moving blocks, which at first I thought, great, we can probably use them to create some silly tricks that are not possible at a human run. But they actually does create a lot of issues. The thing is that when you use the save state functions in the tool, it doesn't reset the rotation of the moving blocks, and so when you play it back in a full run, the moving block that you then cleared with ease might be in a completely different spot. And so you actually have to meticulously write in, line by line, which input you want to happen at which timestamp to ensure that the car gets passed. And while doing so, you also have to wait and watch the car drive the entire run, as there is no support for just starting at a set time. So this took a lot of time and was a bit tedious because not only was I trying to pass the moving block at full speed, I was also trying to make a pipe shortcut happen, jumping from the first part of the pipe to the later half and landing with good speed. And with a few more small improvements, we've gotten the car to checkpoint 5. Now here there is a water bounce into a plastic hit, and I thought for sure there has to be some way to make tricks happen here. In real speedruns, plastic is one of the most annoying surfaces because it's so unpredictable what will happen to your car, but when you have save states and a million resets, you can create something truly special. But with wet tires, you have no air control, and so you are effectively spinning uncontrollably towards the plastic wall, and need the rotation to line up in such a way that you get a double plastic bounce, where first the front of the car bounces and then the back of it. That sends it out like a Beyblade, and then you need to straighten out the car to preserve all that speed and jump to the next platform. At this point in the run, we were actually approaching the ending, and I had to plan out how I wanted to drive it. There were 3 checkpoints remaining. The first one of them was underwater and already posed a big problem because you could enter the water with a lot of speed, but it didn't seem possible to keep all that speed towards the next checkpoint. At first I tried to hit the middle block to bounce and kind of get towards the plastic, and from there do something to skip some of the pillar turns. I don't know, it was a far-fetched idea. But then I noticed there is a tiny gap left of the green arrow, and this gap is exactly wide enough for your car to slot past. And from there, you could drive at full speed and use the uphill block to bounce on the plastic towards the second last checkpoint. I was already super satisfied with this finding, but in the back of my mind, I had this faint reroute idea that I really wanted to experiment with. And it was a bit crazy, but here's how it goes. Instead of going to the second last checkpoint, you go directly to the last checkpoint instead. And from there, there is a plastic edge which you could maybe bounce on, fly all the way across the impossible gap from the other side, and then, like the world record does, you drive back over the plastic, but instead jump directly to the pipe and climb to the finish. Only issue, of course, is that you're working with limited space and limited speed. But I knew it would be the coolest idea. I thought in my mind it's probably possible, and I wanted to check it out. Oh my god, I found it. Okay, wow. I did not think this existed, guys. I've been spamming different inputs for so long. I did not think I was gonna get a clean bounce, but brake at 380 seems to be the key. Now, the joy on my face as I finally got a plastic bounce that was worthy of continuing was really funny to look back at. I had gotten a few that would have made it across and I could kind of stop and maneuver the car and get through the checkpoint anyways, but it would be a couple of seconds slower, and I'd really wanted something that is just clean and looks effortless. And the one thing that made this one work was changing a brake timing by 1/100th of a second. I don't know why, but I was sitting there fiddling, trying every value, and this just happened to work. And so with that, we only really had the ending left to go. In the uphill plastic, I did some input maneuvering to get a perfect no slide up the hill, and then I aimed the jump to the pipe, and from the final pipe, I found a small shortcut where instead of slowing down, you could touch one pipe and land directly in the corner, and from there, drive up to the finish. And with all that work and about 6 hours spent, here, guys, is the final run. We start out in the water pool inconspicuously, trying to keep a lot of speed, and then we head to checkpoint 1, where here, this pipe at real speed just looks ridiculous the way it's driven. We jump, get, for the most part, a clean wall hug, do the wall touch into flat landing into the water pool, close to the corner, close to the jump here, carry a lot of speed, and then towards the moving blocks. This was such a hassle to do, but now, in its final form, it looks so clean. The shortcut across 2 keeps decent speed, jump through the checkpoint, and now, chef's kiss as we crash into the plastic double Beyblade, keep all that speed, jump smoothly to the next block, carry all that speed into the water so that we can go past the green arrow, balance the car, plastic bounce down to the last checkpoint, and then plastic bounce across into nose bug through the second last checkpoint, no slide up the hill, aim for a pipe blindly that you can't really see, land perfectly on that, and then touch the pipe into smooth landing for a final trick 1:12.589. So that beats the world record by 10.5 seconds. Admittedly, it is less than I thought we would. I mean, it is quite close all the way through, and really what gains a lot of time, guys, is, you wouldn't think it, but the plastic bounce actually gains like 3 seconds. Like, this gains a lot of time. And then what makes this reroute so fast, which maybe I didn't explain already, is that going into the ending pipe, we do not have wet tires. Whereas if you do it the same way that the world record does, you will cross this water pool on your way to the pipe. So the last part is a wet pipe. That's why he cannot really do the skip that I did, where with dry tires, after touching the dirt block, we can. And then, I mean, we gotta show it one more time in slow-mo. The crowning piece of this run. I mean, it's really satisfying. It's really satisfying, and it's so fun to problem solve in a different way when you make tool-assisted runs. Like, in driving, there's problem solving, but you still limit your thinking by the fact that, oh, I actually have to drive the thing that I'm thinking of. I cannot just imagine that it would work, you know? This is a lot of fun. The program will be available for public download. It might already be at the time we post this. If so, I'll link to it in the description. And yeah, go out and make some tool-assisted runs, guys. This was a lot of fun. Huge credit to Achepta, who has left us with one run to watch. So from what I know, there are 2 other tool-assisted runs that have been made so far. One of them is from the plugin devs, and one of them is from Schmaniel. So let's take a look at the one from the plugin devs first. On summer 2026 11, we're at record 36. I think we're gonna go a lot faster than that. They do speed. Oh, the nose boost. The nose boost has made its way to Trackmania 2020. So this is something you will see in oh my god, we're going fast. Oh, and they're like slowing down the car in such ingenious ways to make it through checkpoints. This looks completely ridiculous if this is your first time seeing it. And what happens is that the car gains speed on nose bugs above 400 speed. So each time you nose bug, it goes faster and faster. And if you count, it's like that's 5 nose bugs, 6 nose bugs, now we're at 900 speed. And this is something you can't really control humanly, but with enough save states and enough time, yeah, you can palm tree hit twice into a nose bug through the entire lagoon. Nose bug here, bounce on the pillar to set up another nose bug on the dirt here. No, I mean, not at all humanly viable, of course, but just fun to see these like trick shows, for lack of a better word. And the other one from Schmaniel, I guess it's more of a human thing, but still pretty crazy. So me and Schmaniel made the deep dip to sector run together, which was just human input segmented. And he wanted to check if one of our shortcut ideas was possible, and he found out that it is. So take a look at this. So on floor 5 here, you can plastic hit into clip, land backwards, plastic hit, get up the hill, and then onto the plastic here, and smoothly down onto the ice, and up to floor 6. This idea would probably save like 5 seconds over our segmented run, but we actually didn't bother with this because of how precise it is. So like, look at this, nose hit on the plastic on the left here, then you clip the wheel to redirect the car, and then that backwards plastic hit is just so smooth. So, I mean, this is just a snippet. This is 3 runs. Like, there might be thousands of tool-assisted runs that are made over the next couple of months, and it'll be so interesting to see what people come up with. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of the future, guys. Thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. It's a little bit different, but it's really fun to try new things as well. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Thank you for watching. See you. Shoo.